Welcome back to the channel. It's not often that I talk about a big time YouTuber. I just do my own thing here at Trucking and Politics, and sometimes I hit a winner on the views, and sometimes I don't. But I just do my own thing. I got a piece of equipment in today. Hopefully it will change the channel, and I'll start putting out more of these podcast videos that I was talking about. And I think I will put in some video content along with the podcast to where you're not just looking at a blank screen, but just a little update of what's going on. So I don't really talk about big time YouTube content creators. I don't try to fashion myself after them. I don't try to grab their tail and hang on and follow their lead. I just do my own thing here. And today I was listening to actually Mother Trucker, and he is a person that, not as a person, I don't know him personally, never spoken to him, don't have any personal type relationship with him, but as a YouTube content creator, I don't really agree with his style, I guess. His content. But whatever, I know he's extremely popular on YouTube, and he gets thousands and thousands of views. And really, a lot of big YouTubers I don't get into. I've tried to, and I don't really get into them. It seems like they get to a certain point and they become commercialized, and they lose that one-on-one vibe that I want to try to keep with this channel. Anyway, with that being said, he did a video today about this new guy, and I had put it in my community post about this new guy, Derek Bars, that has been nominated by Trump to head the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And, Mother Trucker was saying, Eric Mother Trucker was saying that he thought Trump had made a mistake by nominating this guy. And I listened to his video. I suggest you go listen to Eric's video and watch his video, and then, compare what I'm saying to Eric maybe. I'm not trying to emulate Eric. I'm not trying to follow in his footsteps. I was planning on doing this video anyway, and it just happened that he did one himself. My thing is, I want to get into a little more deep dive about what I believe in and what I think about. This Derek Bars, I don't know him either. I don't have any personal knowledge of him. But a few things throw up some red flags, just like Eric pointed out as well. In fact, I want to show you something, if I can do it without exposing numbers here. My friends in a text message. Let me see. Will it even show up? I don't think so. Anyway, my phone's too bright to show up on the camera. Go figure. But I was going to show you. I texted my friends last night when I read this that Trump nominated this guy, and I said Trump screwed us. That was my message to my friends in this group text message. Trump screwed us. He threw us under the bus by nominating this guy. Why did I say that? For the same reason Eric said that he felt like Trump made a mistake with this guy. I don't want to personally slander Derek Bars. I think he's qualified. That's where I separate myself from Eric. And Eric was saying more that he wanted somebody that actually had hands on experience driving a big truck to head the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. I separate myself from Eric there because I don't think that makes any difference. And I'll tell you why I don't think it makes any difference. Because of what the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is. It is a politicized agency. It doesn't matter who heads it. Just like Vivek Ramaswamy said, you cut the head of a snake off, another head just grows back. He's just another head of a politicized agency. Now, back when Sean Duffy was confirmed or nominated by Trump and then confirmed by the Senate, I heard a lot of chatter going on that, you know, it doesn't really matter if you have experience in the Department of Transportation. It doesn't really matter what your political affiliation is, because the Department of Transportation is a non-political agency. Now, that might or might not be true for the DOT. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, totally different creature. Totally different creature. You are heading an industry that is biased. They are leaning biased towards corporate trucking. And I will stay to my grave with that statement. The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration was built on a political basis. One of the first things they came out with whenever they developed and installed the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration was CSA. And what does CSA do? It gives the upper hand to corporate trucking. Just like I put in my community post about 87 fatalities with FedEx. UPS is right behind them with the fatalities. And you start looking at all these major trucking companies, Averett Express, Martin, Covenant, JB Hunt, Walmart, you start looking at all of them, and I don't think there's a single one that doesn't have multiple fatalities on their record, and everyone has a satisfactory score from CSA. You have one trucking company that has 1 or 2 or 3 drivers, one fatality, they're done. It's over. They're finished. They will take them to the cleaners and wipe them out. What difference does it make if you have 1 or 2 drivers or if you have 7,000 drivers? A fatality is a fatality is a fatality is a fatality. What allows these guys to get away with having a fatality, multiple fatalities on their record, and they're still deemed satisfactory by CSA and by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration? Let's connect the dots. Let's connect the dots on why that is. Who started the Department of Transportation? Who started it? Lyndon Baines Johnson. What political affiliation was he? A Democrat. By all arguments, one of the most corrupt presidents we have ever had. Go study about Lyndon Baines Johnson. The man would have done anything for money, it seemed like. Allegedly, he would have done anything for money. He started the Department of Transportation. Who started the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration? Bill Clinton. What political affiliation was he? A Democrat. Who started letting all the illegals and immigrants into the country that cannot read, write, and speak English? Barack Obama started it. And then it ramped up to epic proportions under Biden. What political affiliation is Barack Obama? What political affiliation is Joe Biden? Democrat, Democrat. Are you seeing a pattern here? I do. So let's connect the dots with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. Who is their sounding board? Who is their cheerleader? Who is there walking hand in hand with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration? The ATA, which most truck drivers call the Anti-Trucking Association. They have got a field office in all 50 states. And usually it goes by the state name. Let's take one into consideration here. The state that I reside in, the Arkansas Transportation Association. What did they just come out in the news the other day about? They are putting out an objection to HB, what is it, 1569, 1565, something like that. The bill that was announced in Arkansas that would make it to where drivers in Arkansas cannot drive a commercial vehicle if there's more to it than just this, but they cannot be in Arkansas driving on the roads if they can't read, write, and speak English. Who mirrors that? The Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It's one of their rules that they do not enforce. But the ATA came down to Arkansas. They're already in Arkansas. Their field office is there. They came in and objected to this ruling, and they're trying to get their own bill passed that would allow drivers to drive in Arkansas that cannot read, write, and speak English, but they are connected to the ATA, the American Trucking Association, that backs this Derek Bars. You see the dots? You see how they're connecting? The Federal Motor Carriers, the ATA. Now this guy, Derek Bars, was a highway patrol chief in Florida. He was also on the legal board of advisors for the ATA. Now the ATA is sponsoring him to be the head of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. See how these dots line up? And you want to tell me that these agencies are not politicized? Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Now, it's not a personal slander to this Derek guy because I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. He may come in there on the very first day of business and say, hey, this rule is in effect. You must read, write, and speak English in order to have a CDL. And he may put out, a memo to all weigh stations all across the United States, inspect every truck that comes through that weigh scale, ask them if they can speak English, tell them to write something down in English and verbally communicate with them. Find out if they can read, write, and speak English. If they can understand the language. If they can't, pull them around back and shut them down and call the company up and say, hey, your truck's shut down. This driver's not going anywhere until you bring a driver down that can read, write, and speak English. And make it to where if you catch that driver in that truck again, they get jail time. Now, he may very well do that on his first day. You can't knock the guy before he even gets into office and sees what he's capable of doing. Is he going to be more of the same? I hope not. I hope Trump didn't screw up. I hope he didn't. I hope he's got an ace up his sleeve like Trump usually does. He always surprises people and has the ace up his sleeve. It's like he's already thought all this process through. Maybe he knows something that we don't know. What worries me, though, is during Trump's first presidency, if you remember, he met with the ATA. Remember when they had their trucks parked on the White House lawn, and he went out doing his aggressive driving thing, all up on the steering wheel like a goofball, doing a photo op with the ATA, and brought them all into the White House. Oh, look at all these good-looking truck drivers, we're so proud to have these guys. It made me sick to my stomach. He was meeting with the ATA. But why does he meet with the ATA? Because none of the rest of us will stick together. Ida has only got 150,000 members. There's supposedly 3 million truck drivers on the road. Mother Trucker has more subscribers than Ida. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. He's got more leverage than Ida does. And I want to agree with Eric that this is not the right guy for the job. And I see the path that he's going down. I do. Do I trust that this guy's going to do the right thing? Not really. I don't really trust that he's going to do the right thing. Do I trust the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, period? Nope. Because they've got a track record of proving that they are not about safety. They're not. And I've called it out on this channel before. They're not about safety. Now, the DOT, I think, is. The DOT runs the scale houses. If you guys remember from the channel, a few videos back, I did a video and I was talking about getting pulled over by a highway patrol in the state of Arkansas. And I talked to him, this patrol officer, and he told me that he didn't run the scales. He did patrol duty. And I asked him about reading, writing, and speaking English. And he said, from what I heard, they have a translator app on their phone. From what I heard, they come mainly from Chicago and California. And I said, what about the rule that said they can't drive if they can't read, write, and speak English? And he said, I agree. But I have a supervisor, and my supervisor has a supervisor. And if it was left up to me, that's what the patrol officer was saying. If it was left up to me, I would shut them down, and I would not let them drive because they cannot read, write, and speak English. It's not allowed. It's against the rules. That's a shutdown. But I have a supervisor, and my supervisor has a supervisor, and we are told we're not allowed to shut them down. So who's the supervisor's supervisor? Potentially it's going to be this Derek Bars. It's all going to come down on him for him to do the right thing. Will he do it? Don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the man is about. I don't know if he's political. I don't know. I hate to say it, but we all know that it happens. Can he be bribed? Can he be paid off? Don't know. And I'm not accusing anything. I'm just saying a bunch of what ifs here. What if? I want to have faith. That's something that I learned a long, long time ago. Without faith, you don't have anything. Without hope, you don't have anything. If you're standing on a little rock and the floodwaters are coming in, and as far as you can see, the earth is on fire, and you don't have any hope left, you've got faith. And if you don't have faith, you don't have anything. All hope is gone. And I hope that's not the situation. I hope that's not the situation with trucking. I hope that this doesn't go ahead and put the nail in the coffin of independents, owner-operators, and small trucking companies. They have been going down and down and down. They have been battered. They have been beat. 200 and something thousand trucking companies have went out of business. The corporate companies don't go out of business. They keep going. They're allowed, they're allowed to have fatalities on their record, and they keep going. The CSA gives them a thumbs up. You got a good safety score. Keep going. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not justice. But it's the way our political system works. And like I have said on this channel over and over and over and over, it comes down to 4 things: money, power, control, which ultimately ends in greed. That's what it comes down to. You go after the money. Once you get the money, you want the power. Once you get the power, you want control. And once you get all that, it turns into greed. Because you got everything, and now you just want more. And that needs to stop. And that's what I thought Trump was about. Drain the swamp, get rid of the corruption, get rid of the greed, get rid of this, and put the power back in the hands of the people. I don't know what the outcome is going to be with the state of Arkansas with this. There's a couple of people that is pushing for it. Harvey Beach, which is the owner of EOS. And I forget the other guy's name. I think he is the owner of Premier, the refrigerated company. But they're working together as a team. They're 2 trucking companies, 2 trucking company owners in Arkansas. They should be competing against one another, but they're working together for highway safety, and to better Arkansas. And then the ATA steps in and says, no, we're going to let these guys be here that can't read, write, and speak English. Why? Why? Why are they here to begin with? You know, why is the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration allowing them to be here when they have this proven track record of wreck after wreck after wreck? How many Amazon trucks have you seen wrecked? Look at the guys pulling Amazon trailers. And look at how many wrecks they've had. They're all over Facebook short videos, getting hung up on concrete walls and dragging rocks across the parking lot that's stuck under their trailer tandems. They're tearing fuel islands apart. And the Federal Motor Carrier's just sitting here. Oh, there's nothing to see here. Just move along. Everything's good. We're all safe here. Yeah. Two of these guys was killed out, I think, in Phoenix or Texas. I forget the story, but I'm thinking about it over, they were team driving for this company that was pulling an Amazon trailer and hit, a bridge embankment, scattered packages all over the interstate, killed both of the drivers in the cab of the truck, all over the news. There's nothing to see here. Move along. I mean, what world do we live in? What world is this that it's okay? What world is it that it's okay to kill other people like corporate trucking companies? Their track record of fatalities is out of this world. They are soaring. They are soaring. And the Federal Motor Carriers is just checking the box. And you're satisfactory. Keep going. You're doing a good job. What world do we live in? Are we in the fifth dimension here somewhere? Over here is where we're at. And over here is reality somewhere where you can't see it. I mean, what's going on? I don't get this. We've got to have faith that this guy's going to do the right thing. If he gets confirmed by the Senate and gets put into power over the Federal Motor Carrier, my personal opinion, we shouldn't even have a head of the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. We shouldn't even have a head of it, period. In my opinion, we should not have the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. It shouldn't even be in existence. It should be dissolved, shut down, and rolled back into the Department of Transportation, which I personally believe is a less politically charged agency. I feel that way. I may be wrong with my assumption, but I feel that way. I feel like the only purpose to the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration is political entitlement, to give the upper hand, the edge to corporate trucking companies. That's the only purpose that I see of their existence. You say, oh, well, they created all these rules and regulations. You're talking about the little green book. A lot of that is old DOT rules that was just transferred over. Those rules were in existence before 2000. We didn't just run out and do however we wanted, whenever we wanted. There was rules of engagement back then. But what the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration has accomplished is creating a bunch of rules that gives an unfair advantage to corporate trucking companies that already had an unfair advantage given to them by none other than Jimmy Carter when he deregulated the trucking industry. And what political affiliation was Jimmy Carter? Can I hear it? Does anybody know? Jimmy Carter. Another Democrat? Yeah. I rest my case. I rest my case. If for some reason this Derek Bars is watching this, if for some reason he's getting this, I do wish you luck, sir. I do. And the only thing that I would say to you, I'm not slandering you on a personal basis whatsoever. The only thing I would say to you is read the good book and do the right thing. Because the wrong thing has been done to trucking for the last 25 or 30 years. The wrong things have been done to trucking for the last 25 or 30 years. Do the right thing. Do the just thing. Do the moral thing. Do the ethical thing. And be fair. And enforce your own rule. Enforce your own rule. If you cannot read, write, and speak English, pull them out of the truck and shut that truck down. Do the right thing. I wish you luck, sir, if you get confirmed. If you're watching this for some reason. And for everybody else, you guys need to do what I have been saying on this channel since day one. We need to stick together. Because if we stuck together like the ATA and the corporate trucking, we greatly outnumber these guys. And if we was to stick together and stand our ground and said, no, we're not dealing with this anymore, they would have no choice but to listen and abide by what we say. Remember the little paper that was written back in the 1700s that started out with, "We the people"? We the people, meaning us, the people, not the corporations, not the federal government. It is we the people. Again, I will say on the channel, we need to stick together. There is strength in numbers. Anyway, enough of my rambling, enough of my rant. I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay safe out there. Be good to each other. Take care of yourself. And we will catch you on the next one.